All right, thank you, Jerry. Thank you all. I have to say, I had to get permission to come here tonight. Anybody else have to get permission to go out? Does anybody do that? I had to get permission from my therapist. She thought I was crazy for doing this. And, you know, it's a hard thing to hear from a therapist, right? That's the last thing you want to hear. You're crazy. It's like, well, yeah, that's what I'm paying you to fix. Anyway, I'm from the Middle East, in case you guys couldn't tell by my tan complexion. I'm Egyptian originally, but I moved to Southern California recently, so now I'm Mexican. It doesn't bother me at all, actually. I kind of like it. You know, people, it doesn't matter. People don't think anything of it. The only place where people really care where I'm from is airport security. You guys familiar with that? Airport security, yeah, I have a really fun time with that. That secondary screening that everybody's got to get, yeah, random my ass. It's not random. And it's so invasive too. Now they tell you, oh, I'm using the back of the hands. Yeah, okay, well, sure, yeah, back of the hands. I still feel like I feel like I finally understand what the Me Too movement is all about. This is what, too soon? No, I'm sorry. Maybe that wasn't so appropriate. But one time I'm traveling, you know, I go up to the TSA officer, I hand him my driver's license, and he looks at it and says, Michael, is that your real name? So I decided to mess with him a little bit. I said, no. My real name is not Michael. You got me, officer. My real name is Jeffrey. It's the stupidest questions, right? Did you pack your own bags? Yes, all except for the one that is sticking. Boom! Not something you want to do at an airport, but you know, it's just they do such horrific shit sometimes. I finally had to figure out a way to get it back. So I figured out that it takes about 2 minutes and 42 seconds for my luggage, my carry-on, to go through the x-ray machine. So I put an egg timer in there. So it goes off exactly at the moment they open up my bag on the other side. You know, of course, they're jumping. I'm getting on the phone, hey honey, you can take the cake out of the oven now. I can't help it, man. It's just, you know, travel is not fun for me. It's not a walk in the park. I hate travel. I hate sitting in seats next to people. It's just getting too close, and people suck. I just don't want to be that close to people. Especially like when you're in the aisle seat, somebody's sitting in the middle seat next to you. One time I'm traveling, and the passenger in the middle seat next to me is just making so much noise, so much ruckus. Finally, I gave up. I had to turn around and say, sir, could you please keep it the fuck down? I'm trying to get some work done. And the lady in the window seat next to him just turns to me and says, sir, there's no reason for that kind of language. He probably just needs a diaper change. Which I found really strange because he looked like he was at least 35. You know, the one thing though that I do love about travel is I have my preferences with airlines. Southwest, anybody fly Southwest? Southwest is a fantastic airline. I love flying Southwest. Southwest is the only airline that will actually tell you or let you pick the person that sits next to you. You guys know this? This is true. This is 100% true. You can pick the person that sits next to you. It's very simple. You just got to make sure that you're in Group A, show up early, sit in the aisle seat of your choosing, and then they tell you if you don't want people to sit next to you in the middle seat, you just don't make eye contact, right? I disagree. Make a lot of eye contact. You got to make like extreme eye contact. In fact, don't break eye contact, but you got to use crazy eyes. Nobody wants to sit next to this guy, right? There are some exceptions. If there's some attractive young lady walking down, you want to make sure, you know, knock off the crazy eyes. Here, there's got a middle seat right next to me. You can come and have a seat. But that never happens to me. Does that ever happen to you? It never happens to me. I'm always stuck next to the guy that's the last to board the plane, and it's always the mouth breather with a horrible, horrible BO. And I finally figured it out. I figured out why this never happens to me. See, attractive people don't fly Southwest. It's true, it's true. And does anybody fly Southwest? So you know what I'm talking about. It's horrible. It's just, you know. But the one thing that I do enjoy about Southwest, though, is they're pretty wacky. You guys ever hear the announcements they make on the PA system? These guys are crazy. It's like they're all hotboxing with the pilot in the cockpit. It's amazing. You know, I feel like this is the only airline where you get on a plane and you feel like you're being piloted by Larry the Cable Guy. All right, Joe, we're going to try to park this plane in a few minutes here, so why don't you hold on to something? We're going to have a bumpy ride on the way down. Yeehaw! And they finally land. And the flight attendant gets on the PA system and says, welcome to LAX. Sorry about the bumpy ride. It's not the pilot's fault. It's not the co-pilot's fault. It's the asphalt. It got to the point where I felt like, well, maybe I can get on there mid-flight for 5 minutes. They'll let me do some comedy, you know? What's the worst thing? They can't walk out. What are they going to do? Worst case scenario, I bomb. poor choice of words. Let's see what else. I'm trying to take care of my health these days. I'm trying to be healthy, trying to exercise, so I go to the gym every day. But I realize I have to lower my expectations a little bit. No matter how much I go to the gym, the best I can ever get up to is looking like the before pictures. Which I'm fine with that. You gotta do a little bit more. You gotta eat healthy too. You gotta eat right? They gotta tell you, what do they tell you? You are what you eat, right? You are what you eat? Well, I want to eat a skinny person. All right, that's my time, guys. Thank you.